Hello guys, I'm Jeevan. Today I'm going to cover next topic, common cloud terminology. Uh, in my last video, I explained about the cloud computing and major cloud provider available and identifying learning path and certification all across the cloud platform. So let's start it. Uh, Common cloud terminology in this video. So in this video, I'm going to uh, cover the common terminologies that are available, are being used in all across the cloud platform. Uh, so the first one is the geography. Here you will see the geography is a almost similar term in the continental or geography that we have read in our social study. So uh, the geography is in an area in the world containing one or more region for fault tolerance. For example, let's say we have uh, geography in a Europe region or maybe in Asia Pacific or America, Japan or any in a region that is an area or location or a geography, whatever term you can say that you will see talking about every time whenever you start studying any cloud. So next thing is region. Region is a set of locational presence of the cloud provider. Let's say I select the geography India. So within the India, and let's say I take the cloud provider, for example, Google. So Google may have a presence or the region within the India in a maybe they have several in a segmented in groups, the central India, South India, West India, or something like this. So, and based on that presence, they call it region. So, you may find the term like India West, India East, uh, Central India, etc. So, under the region, every cloud provider got a zone. The zone is the deployment area within the region. It's a nothing. It's a collection of data center available in that region, and they are the identical set of availability that gives based on the zone. So these are the unique physical location within the region to provide the fault tolerance among the zones or within the zone. So it's a just a physical data center available in the location or between the location like this. So this is the common thing you will find across the cloud provider, whether you see the Azure or Google, AWS, all across you will find all these terms being used. So so that the purpose is just segmenting their availability so that let's say someone planning to host some application and the application the customer wants to host that application uh, to make it available for the user in the US region. So how the deployment will be uh, like the solution when the solution architect will give the solution to define the deployment. So they will give a solution like take the based on the customer requirement. Let's say they want to just uh, availability uh, between the zones they want, or they want availability between or among the region level. So that is the question probing can be done with the customer. So let's say customer says I want just zone level availability and my user space is in USA. So then we can give the solution like we can take the two availability zone in the US, maybe east US East or US West or US Central or something like this, and take the servers deployment availability spread it across these zones, and and further there will be several questions to determining how many resilience they want, So that is the one first thing to ask, what level of resilience they need, and availability, what sort of availability. The main point to identify here, the zone is something uh, near physically available data center in that particular region, and multiple data center can spread it, and the availability zone is the collection of data center giving fault tolerance within the region. So every cloud provider has a divided their availability zone sets in a groups to make the availability balanced within the zone. And if they have a failure in one data center, so they can directly shift over customer traffic availability to the next nearest available zone. So if some customers say, I want further fault tolerance up to the region level. Let's say the provider has an outage, the major outage in a India region, or India geography and the central India region, then they say no, my application should remain up and running, whatever uh, the data center, whether up and not. So my application should remain up. So then probably we may need to deploy this solution in the two or one or more region within the India. So these are the some use case scenario that we'll explore further in our next upcoming video as well. I will talk about this in more detail in my upcoming video. So the next topic, the next terminology here is resources in the cloud. So there are several resources available in the cloud: storage, server, application, uh, the infra that they're giving, and the environmental, the identity, the network and security or virtualization. The virtual, everything is virtual in the cloud. That's the backbone of the cloud is there. So these are the common you'll find everywhere, all across the cloud provider. So next terminology, we have a service model available several, and these are common across the provider: infrastructure as a service, platform as service, software as service, and the code as a service. Backend, some have a custom servicing model, that the models are defined based on the just to attract the customer and target the specific domain or requirement of the customer to fulfill. Let's say the when I say the backend as a service model, so the backend as a service model is for specifically for the mobile developer. They may they don't know what is the infrastructure, and what they don't need to be aware or take the pain to maintain the infrastructure. They directly say, hey, I want to develop a mobile application for Android uh, store. So directly they can take that backend environment and pre-build environment to develop the mobile application for just Android. So that sort of customized servicing models are available in the cloud as well. And then further, the deployment models. The deployment models are kind of the way how we can leverage this cloud technology and then the offerings. Uh, in the one is the primary. I'm sorry. The one is the private deployment. The private deployment is kind of a single organization serving being served on the that particular data center or a cloud that is called private. So just for one specific customer. And public deployment is a kind of general public available. It's another way we say it, a multi-tenancy, where all customer uh, get hosted in a one space. They share the infrastructure, be it a storage or a database, everything that is being shared. However, they have a several layer of control within the tenancy to avoid any sort of exposure or exfiltration infiltration within within the cloud offering. Then there is a one customized or a identical grouping sort of deployment that is called community based. So the community is group of identical organization. Let's say for a an for a healthcare customer, they to maintain their standards and the compliance. They some cloud provider also creating a customized offering based on the community uh, of the customer they belong to. And the further is the hybrid just nothing, it's just mixture of mix private, public, and on-prem. So that is the normally everywhere you will see the deployment. The company may have their own on-premises network, and for some service they may take some service from the Google to consume. So that is kind of public offering and the private on-prem. So that is a hybrid solution. And one another is the more more diversified portfolio, that is the multi-cloud offering that is nothing that's not a any provider specific offering, that is something the real in my real case that I just wanted to mention here. The multi-cloud is, let's say some customer had the on-prem and they have taken a one service from the Azure and another from the Google, and then further they have some DNS services and the VNet, the network VPC created on the AWS. So from the AWS they have the network, and then they take the DNS service within the AWS, and then they take the further CDN service from the Azure, and probably they may take a G Suite service from the Google. So all the requirement is spreaded among the provider and the on-prem. So they that requires a lot of integration and maintenance overhead. So we will talk about this how to handle such environment, the complex deployment in the further upcoming videos as well. And the last thing, you will find the subscription uh, available. Subscription models are available in the cloud offering. The subscription is about uh, how the customer is going to pay to the provider. So the most uh, famous or the popular subscription way in the cloud offering is pay as you go model. So that is you just need to pay for what you consume as a service. Or some customer also may say, hey, if they have a long-term commitment, something they see we need that service for 3 year in row, or for long-term visionary. So then they can have a long-term commitment, and in case of long-term commitment, some provider also provide a upfront benefits and discounts to the customer as well. And managed partner of subscription, the subscription is the managed partner, the billing and and the offering and solutioning in this case is being managed by the only the managed partner. Uh, so they also take care of their deployment as well as the billing and the solution and everything they will take care of. The customer only just need to say, I want my this service to be hosted in the cloud. So this is the base may, very very important topic I just wanted to cover. And these are the terms you will find all across the cloud provider available in the market. These are common. So further, I'll be creating uh, topics in the next video. That is, I'll try to cover the cloud services technologies available across the provider, the services normally the customer may take. So these are the I mean, very common services. Normally, customer requires the computing service or the network service, the load balancer, the storage service, or the identity service, the DNS service, the CDN service, or the security services, etc. So these are the I will these are the topics I'll be covering in my next video, and after this, I will try to cover the cloud specific cloud provider infrastructure topics and how these cloud provider give this particular service offering, and how it is different in other cloud provider. So this way I will try to cover in the upcoming video. So if you like my video, please share your comments uh, and suggestion so that I can create a more suitable or so that I can try to fulfill your requirement. And I will really appreciate your comments and feedback. Thank you very much.